If the crisis of water is carrying on like this, so it seems a lot of people will die. So the water, before people supply water to people, they must test first whether the water is good or not. And then if they just send water to people without testing, it seems they want to kill people. And why should they send water to people without testing whether the people is good or not?
We wish again to convey our sincere condolences to many of the families that have lost their loved ones on the basis of the gastrointestinal infections that have been experienced in the main here in the city of Tshwane. When we briefed with the leadership here, led by the National Department of Health, Dr. Mahlobo, we learned as a team that there is an escalation of fatalities. Numbers now, they are at 15. As government, in terms of our response, the MEC has been on the ground for quite some time, including yesterday, as you are aware. And the national government, the Minister of Health, has assigned Dr. Mahlobo, our Deputy Minister, and the Minister of Water and Sanitation has assigned the two Deputy Ministers. We've agreed now that we are creating a command center so that our response can be immediate and it must be effective. The command center that is going to be here is going to be at 2 levels. It's going to be both at a political level, but it will also be at a level that is technical. At a political level will be led by the Ministry of Health. Dr. Mahlobo will be leading us here, supported by the MEC for Health in the province, Mayor Nomantu as our MEC responsible. The Department of Water, the Minister of Water will be part of the team. The Ministry and the Provincial Department of Social Development will be here. We will also have the city of Tshwane where these issues are happening, led by the Executive Mayor and the MMCs. But at a particular point, we'll also bring in the police and we'll also bring in the Department of Defense to handle the issues that are happening here. The issue of water in Tshwane has been a problem for a number of years. And there have been problems politically. That municipality over time, there have been issues of conflicts in such a way that the citizens were exposed, became vulnerable. And even now, you know that there is issues of a coalition government, a very, very kind of a new feature in South Africa, very unstable. I was telling Temba this morning that it's very dangerous to work with you because I don't know whether tomorrow we'll wake up, you'll still be the MMC for infrastructure. They change like chairs. That's what is happening. And it creates instability. As this Department of National Water and Sanitation, we know that we've intervened on several occasions, including the South African Human Rights Commission, the citizens themselves. They've been able to stand up. In many instances, our engagement with Tshwane has not been very productive. We'll agree with them, we'll put a plan, they will default. and the citizens in terms of their right to have access to water will be affected. The water pollution around many wastewater treatment works of Tshwane is not good. Tshwane has never made a provision that when its population and its contribution to the GDP grew, they expanded their wastewater treatment works. And their wastewater treatments are actually dysfunctional. Whether you look at Pavian Sport, you look at Rooival, you name all of them, the pollution that is coming here, impacting on the environment, including impacting on human lives right now, is a challenge that we experience. We've made decision. One of the decisions that we made when the Human Rights Commission was here, we worked together with Tshwane, we produced a concrete plan. That plan was presented to Parliament. And Parliament was very satisfied because even the Portfolio Committee of Water came there. Guess what? There was a default in terms of the implementation of the plan by the Water Services Authority. Ultimately, when there was non-compliance, we issued directives in terms of the law that you are breaking your water license condition. What you are discharging, whether to the Apis River, Henops, and so forth, is not acceptable. Correct it, put remedial action. We'll agree, but it will not happen. We know now that ultimately we have taken the Tshwane as a Water Services Authority, taken them to court. Because we cannot say as government we cannot intervene. When we've taken them to court, they are opposing that. But recently, there's a new leadership in Tshwane. You remember the revolving chairs. The new mayor with the MMCs, now they've approached us to say, let's get out of matters of court. Let's agree that there are serious issues around water provision. And this place called Hammanskraal, including Bronkhorstspruit, are the most affected areas. We know that. Ultimately, last Wednesday, we agreed that the DG of Water and the MM in that particular Tshwane, they must be able to refine the plan in the next few days. And then we'll convene the meeting with the minister to ensure that we conclude that plan. But because of our experience in Tshwane, in terms of institutional instability, we'll want that plan agreed with the current leadership of Tshwane that it becomes a court order in terms of declaration. So that whoever comes in, if they do this merry-goes-around in terms of their chairs, nobody can be in a position to say, no, we're not binded by that particular plan. But we are intervening, and it's a serious matter.